my big shouting day. Yesterday, I woke up and Bob was crawling around my room, licking my jewelry. So I shouted, "Get out of my room!" And that was the start of my big shouting day. Then I came downstairs and I saw that egg. I cried and said, "I can't eat that." And Mommy said, "You could eat it last week. Look at Bob eating his mom's banana." After the terrible egg, I didn't like my shoes either, so I took them off all by myself, shouting, "No shoes!" And then we had to go shopping, and Mommy said, "Please stop wiggling, Bella." But I couldn't stop wiggling. And then in the end, I shouted, "Get me out!" And Mommy said, "You will give Bob an earache, and you're giving me a headache." And Bob poked me and said, "Ew." At lunchtime, Sasa and her mommy came to play and have some peanut butter and grapes and a biscuit, but my biscuit broke. Then I couldn't play nicely, and I kept saying, "No, you can't be princesses." And then in the end, Sasa and her mommy went home. So in the afternoon, it was my ballet lesson. I said, "Ballet is too itchy," but I was very loud. And Mrs. Claus stopped playing the piano, and Miss Louisa said, "Dear, oh dear, perhaps you should sit in the corner then." On the way home, we met the lady who lived next door, and he said that Bob was the sweetest thing she'd seen all day. And then she said, "And how is Bella?" Now it's a long way behind, so I had to shout, "I have a hurting foot." And Mommy said, "Could I keep my voice down? Can I please stop lying on the pavements?" Then it was time for my tea and my bath. But those peas are too hot, and our bath was too cold, and I was too wet, and it was too minty. After that, I rolled and said, "No bed, no bed, no." And Mommy said, "Well, I think someone needs to go to bed." But I rolled over all over my room. And then I rolled into Bob's room and I said, "Bed is for babies." And then I yawned, a little yawn. Then I crawled into my room and Mommy said, "Who wants a story?" And I said, "Nobody." But she came into my room anyway. And we cuddled up and had my best stories about fairies and cake. I yawned again, and I said very quietly, "Today it was a big shouting day, Mommy. Sorry." And she kissed me goodnight and said, "I know, we all have those days sometimes, but perhaps you will be more cheerful tomorrow." And I was cheerful all day long. The end.